Some decisions in career mode are really hard. Do I spend my entire remaining budget on a 21-year-old centre midfielder with the potential to be the next Yaya Toure, or will he be a flop? Do I sell my best striker and a fan's favourite to a rival just so I can afford to bring in that first 90 rated player? Or will it turn out that my scouts have done their homework wrong and he's not even 85 rated? Well, thankfully this decision was nowhere near as difficult as those decisions. You know, would we leave Spurs to join Millwall, the club that I love, the club we started this career mode at? I mean, the decision was easy, wasn't it? I let you guys vote, of course, and for those that don't know, in the last episode we had the Champions League final with Spurs. We won it on penalties thanks to Fabio da Silva, one of our first signings for Napoli, our former club, missing an atrocious penalty. Well, I let you guys choose for me. Millwall came in after I put in a job application. Millwall said, yes, please come back to the den. I thought I'd let you guys choose, and the vote, I'm starting to laugh, the vote was unbelievable. Every single person, bar just a few, wanted me to go back to the den and back to the club, which I love. So we have indeed left Spurs, we have joined Millwall. Thanks to everyone that voted, but it turned out I didn't really need too many in the end. But yeah, thanks to everyone that voted. It was hugely in favour of going back to Millwall, so that's exactly why we left. And as you can see as well, I'm really pleased because we've gone back to the den, and unlike when we left Millwall to join Napoli, we were told there was going to be a lot of money at the Italian club, but there was no money whatsoever. However, at Millwall, there is a lot of money, so that's fantastic. So I'm really pleased with that. It turns out that I don't need to worry too much because there is a lot of money in Millwall, and their squad is actually really good as well. It's a 4.5-star team, very decent. There's a few areas in the squad which really do need improving, such as the centre-half role, but the squad is really good. A lot of 80+ players in there, including Kelvin, 86, very nice, Ermakov, 84, Triggsy Boy, the man with no legs, 81, Camel's going up to an 80, very nice indeed, someone that's 32, so very decent squad, and a lot of money as well, although I will say there are 3 players that end up retiring at the end of this year. Those are Jay Rodriguez, Soldado, and not sure who the other one was. I think it was Beavers. But yeah, so 3 players retired. But we also decided to go ahead and buy a couple of youth scouts as well, because we have a lot of money to spend. I thought I'd buy a couple of youth scouts. One 5-star experience and 5-star judgment. The other one 3-star experience, 3-star judgment. So we can start youth scouting again. Yay! Youth scouting. Everyone likes youth scouting. So there you go. And yeah, as you can see as well, we wrapped the season off here with Millwall. And as you can see, they end up saying the objectives. They give us the briefing on our objectives to say you didn't do very well, and I was like, well, obviously I've literally joined a week ago, so what are you expecting? I can't travel back in time and play all these games for you. But thankfully for me, it didn't matter, because even though the last manager didn't match his objectives, it didn't matter because we're still staying on. But we start a new season, and how about this? Straight away we've got an injury. Ermakov is out for 2 months. Our domestic cup objective is to reach the final. But look at that season's budget, £99.5 million, 475 grand on a wage budget. That's not a real surprise considering the fact we did have a lot of money here at Millwall anyway when we first joined. So of course I put it on a wage budget, and of course that is how you apparently get more money. So it's not too much of a surprise, but even so, £99.5 million here at Millwall, absolutely insane. I haven't even used a financial takeover. That's the funniest thing about it. So we get £99.5 million. That is just mental. Oh God, I can't believe that, and it's so hilarious as well because anyone that's been on this career mode for long enough, you will know that when we were at Millwall, the board were real tight asses. They never gave us any money whatsoever, but they've given us almost £100 million. Absolutely incredible. So you can definitely see that the board want us to challenge for the title this year, no doubt about it. But anyway, we put in a bid for Brian Carrasco, and we also put in a bid for Leal Gutierrez. There is obviously no doubt in my mind that Brian and Leal both need to come back to the den. Even though Brian is coming into his 30s, I still want him here at the den. He was one of our first ever signings, and I want him back. Leal, of course, is the centre-half original scout future star who was an absolute monster. And also John Joe Anderson, because Anderson is a really good young player with a lot of potential. And just imagine he and Triggsy in the centre of midfield. That'd be fantastic. But we also put in a bid for Eric Dier as well of Manchester City. Of course, we had him at Millwall again. So all 4 of the first players are players that we used to have at Millwall. We put in a bid for Eric Dier because his contract's up at the end of the year, so we could get him on a little bit cheaper than I thought we'd have to pay. He's a 90 rated centre half, so I'd very much like to get him in the team. And also James Ward-Prowse at Southampton, just because I wouldn't mind sort of good partial the ball in the centre mid like there. James Ward-Prowse is. And also we put in a bid for this loan player, this 17-year-old right back from United. He's English, he looks okay, he'll just be there for cover really. The reason I did this because I thought he looked quite good, and we'll wait and see where he does have the potential in just a moment, or whether I've signed someone who is very, very average. But after that we see that Anthony Lopez here, the Manchester City goalkeeper, 85 rated, 29 years old, valued at £10 million. We put a bid of £5 million plus Velthuizen, and we'll wait and see what City say. And also we put in a bid for Raphael Varane here of Bayern Munich, the French centre-half who was previously at Liverpool in his career mode, and of course previously at Real Madrid as well in real life. And we put in a bid of £15 million plus G-Kaber. Yeah, I really want to get rid of him, so I don't have to pronounce that name, but put in a bid, and as you can see here, all of those clubs, City, Southampton and Bayern Munich, reject the bids we made for Ward-Prowse, Varane and Anthony Lopez, which is not a real surprise because you guys know I do like to barter as much as possible and try and get the best deal possible. So we put in a new bid for Southampton's James Ward-Prowse for £6 million plus John Fleck. We also put in a new bid for Anthony Lopez of £8 million plus Velthuizen for the Portuguese goalkeeper because he does look very, very decent. And we also put in a new bid for Raphael Varane as well of £20 million plus GK, and we'll wait and see what they say. It is under his valuation, but you never know. But United have accepted a loan deal for that right back, only £4,000 a week. And I said the reason I did this is because I thought he might have a bit of potential. He does actually look okay, 66 overall, some decent physical stats. He'll just sit in the resis though and just be there for cover. I thought at first he'd be a really decent player, but he's quite average. But there you go. But after that, we see that we had bids rejected for those two centre halves, both Eric Dier and Leal Gutierrez. We put in new bids, £23 million for Eric Dier. He's valued at £28.5 million, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And for Leal Gutierrez, we put in a bid of £10 million, and we shall wait and see what Spurs say, because I'd love to have him back at the Den. And as you can see as well, Spurs said no to the deal for John Joe Anderson and Brian Carrasco. They wanted £8.2 million for Carrasco, and it also wouldn't tell us how much they wanted for Anderson. We put in a bid of £5 million plus one of our random players, a left back, 54 overall, and we'll wait and see what they say. And also we put in a bid for Brian Carrasco. They want £8.2 million plus Iago Falk, and we shall wait and see what Spurs say there. It's funny, Iago Falk was the player we gave to Millwall in order to sign Carrasco for Spurs, so he's just getting sent back and forth between White Hart Lane and the Den. But after we saw that our striker, 66 overall, is on his way to Crewe on loan, which is good because I don't think we're really going to need him, so he's on his way. And also we see that Bayern Munich and Southampton once again reject the deals we put in for James Ward-Prowse and Raphael Varane, which is not a surprise. Like I said, the deals are way under their valuation, but I don't want to spend my entire budget on these two players, obviously, but I don't want to spend as much as they want because I feel like we can get them cheaper. But we'll wait and see what Southampton say. But I didn't put in a new bid for Varane. I thought I'd leave it there for the time being, as I'm currently investigating Gutierrez and Eric Dier. But Fulham want Danilo. That's not going to happen. I'm keeping him at the club. Best right back we've got at the moment. And also Bayern Munich want Anderson Rodriguez. This is a 17-year-old striker I've seen who's 71 overall. Looks like he's got a lot of potential and he's got 5-star skills, so looks very decent indeed, so I'm not letting him go. But also we put in a new bid for Anthony Lopez of £11 million. They don't seem to want Velthuizen, and we'll wait and see what they say. And we also see that City have rejected once again the deal for Eric Dier. They do not want to let go of him. They do not want to let us take Eric Dier back. If you remember, whilst we were at Napoli, we saw that Eric Dier left Millwall to join City for £53 million, so it's not a real surprise they want to have such a big loss on him. But we put in a new bid for Gutierrez as well. It's £15 million, and we'll wait and see what Spurs say, because he is a player I obviously really do want back at the Den, and we'll wait and see what they say. And we also see after that that negotiations are over between us and Anthony Lopez, because he has gone to Inter, so that's fine with me. I mean, there's other goalkeepers out there. He was just the first one I was looking at. But following that, we see that John Joe Anderson, Spurs have accepted a £5 million deal plus that 54 rated left back, so we can go ahead and offer him a contract, which we go ahead and do so, which is fantastic. And also Spurs will not let go of Carrasco unless they get 7.7 plus Iago Falk, which is perfectly acceptable, but we offer £7.5 million because I'm just messing around a little bit at the moment. And also we see that City, they are just not going to let go of Eric Dier unless they get the £30 million million thereafter. So we offer 29 million pounds because even though we've got just under 100 million pounds, I'm still being a bit of a cheapskate. But we also saw that Southampton want 15.5 million pounds for James Ward-Prowse, and that's just not going to happen really, because I think there's better CMs out there for cheaper. But also as well, we put in a transfer offer we see a transfer offer came in for Todd Kane, which we go ahead and reject. And following that, we also see that John Joe Anderson has indeed accepted his contract here to rejoin Millwall, and it's a bid of £5 million plus a random 54 rated left back, and that's great. Anderson's back at the club, and I'm very, very happy. We also see that Spurs accepted a deal of £7.5 million plus Falk for Brian Carrasco, so Carrasco could be back to the Den, which would be fantastic. And also Spurs want £28.5 million for Gutierrez, so we offered them £23 million, and we'll wait and see what they say. That should probably be an overspend really, but I don't really care, to be honest. But we also try and go in for Ter Stegen of Borussia Mönchengladbach, 85 rated goalkeeper. Never had him before, but I know he's a popular choice in career mode, so I'm sure he's got a lot of potential. And also Liali of Juventus, because I have had him before in a previous career mode of FIFA 13 whilst I was managing AC Milan. He was quite decent, so we'll wait and see what Juventus say. But I'm not sure whether we'll get him or not, because we put in a bid of £4 million plus Velthuizen, but I think I want a bit more than that because he is 84 overall. And also a reminder, I forgot to show you John Joe Anderson's stats, so apologies for that. I completely forgot all about it. You should know what he's like anyway, but you'll see his stats soon enough in the squad report regardless. But Wolfsburg want Dongu, but that's not going to happen. And we also saw that Spurs have accepted a £23 million bid for Leal Gutierrez, so the Brazilian centre-half, the very, very powerful, very young centre-half, is looking like he's going to come back to the Den. Carrasco, he says he wants a higher squad status here if he's going to rejoin Millwall, so we give him important first-team player status. He is 29, so he'll be 30 very quickly, but even so, I still think he can do a good job on that left flank for us, or the right flank, depending on where I play him. But also, City, they just don't want to let go of Eric Dier unless they get £30 million, so I said, okay, fine, I'll match you. It's only £1 million pound more. That's nothing to me really. So you can take him. You can take the £30 million, and we'll take Eric Dier back, please. But also Borussia Mönchengladbach aren't going to let go of Ter Stegen. But Juventus say they only want £7.5 million for Velthuizen, which is quite £7 million plus Velthuizen for Liali, which isn't too bad. So we offer £6 million plus Velthuizen. We'll wait and see what they say. Also Auxerre of France want Jack Robinson. We reject the deal, and we say we'd rather keep him here, because although he's not going to be our first choice left back, he is still quite good. He was a member of our original squad, of course. And also Spurs accepted the bid of £23 million plus Gutierrez, and he accepts his contract. So here's a look at Gutierrez, 85 overall, 6'3". I don't need to tell you his stats, you already know what he's like. Yes, oh my god, 84 finishing, oh my god, what's that about? So yes, a very, very decent centre half. We already knew that. And also, City have accepted a deal of £30 million for Eric Dier, so we can now offer him a contract. And also, Carrasco has rejoined the club as well. So, our third proper signing is going to be another re-sign. Carrasco comes in, and again, you already know what he's like. So, yeah, absolutely rapid, very, very decent. And he is, of course, one of the players we have nurtured since the very beginning, when he was like 68 overall. So, it's been great seeing him grow so much. But also, we put in a contract for Eric Dier, because I would, of course, love to have him back at the Den. And we'll wait and see what he says. But we also saw that we had a transfer offer for Danny Ings, and I was like, you must be joking, Stoke. £8.5 million, there is no way I'm accepting that. So Ings is going to be staying with us, of course, because he was, of course, another signing made by me whilst I was here at the Den. And also, Juventus accepted a deal of £6 million plus Velthuizen for Liali. So very decent deal. I was surprised by that. I thought I'd have to pay a lot more money than that, but they accept £6 million plus Velthuizen, and Liali could be coming in. And also, Fiorentina want Dongu for £13 million. But again, I'm not selling him. 82 overall, only 25 years old. He was, of course, a signing that I made when I was at the Den, so I don't want to get rid of him. And also, we have re-signed one of our centre-halves in Eric Dier for £30 million. Maybe a bit of an overspend, but to be honest, he's 90 overall. He looks like an absolute monster. And yeah, we had him, of course, at the Den. He was very decent, but he was nowhere near as good as this. But he just looks like an absolute machine. You see all of those specialities there. That just shows how good he is. He is an absolute monster. So very happy to get Eric Dier back in the side. And we also put in a couple of bids here as well for some left backs too, because at the moment we don't have a proper good left back at the moment. We're playing I think it's Danilo at right back and Kane at left back, or probably the other way around. So I would actually like a proper natural left back, because Robinson's okay, but he's 76 overall. I think we do better than that. So we put in bids for David Alaba of Atletico Madrid and also Luke Shaw of Southampton, and we'll wait and see what they say. It's funny, I've never had Shaw in this career mode, which is a real surprise, because I usually get Luke Shaw all the time because he's a very, very decent player. But we'll wait and see what those clubs say. We also put in a bid for Jamel Scribe of Manchester City, who looks like a new gen, and or possibly a region actually of Gael Clichy, I'm not sure, but we'll wait and see what City say. They ended up rejecting it. They just flat out rejected it and said we don't want to get rid of him, so that's fine. But we also saw that Liali has accepted his contract, so a bid of £6 million plus Velfuisen was all we needed to prize Liali away from Juventus. 84 rated goalkeeper, very decent stats. Very, very happy with that deal. I think that's an absolute bargain, to be honest. So I'm very happy with that deal as Liali comes into the club. We also saw that Atletico Madrid are not going to get rid of David Alaba, which is not a real surprise. And Southampton don't want to get rid of Luke Shaw either, which again is not a real surprise. We put in a bid of £14 million plus Britain, whoever that is, for Luke Shaw. And we also put in a bid of, what was it for Alaba? I think it was £15 million plus Britain. So wait and see what they say. And yeah, there you go. But the last thing you'll see is a pre-season friendly against Nuremberg here at the Den, which we of course simulated. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching this video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. That's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. Hopefully you're very glad that I've gone back to Millwall. Thank you very much for voting, and yeah, I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.